this what you want? This fucking foliage? Is this what you want? Mr. Dips? Is this what you want? Me standing in front of EC3 buying designer coats? Is this what you want? Me sitting in some hipster hotel in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, fluffing pillows? Is this what you want? I don't believe this. This graffiti art, hipster hotels, avocado toast. All I want is a fucking Guinness. An ice cold Guinness. What the hell does that mean? Oh, this is what you wanted. This is your Monday Night Raw review right here on Off the Script. I'm pretty proud of myself, man. I am pretty proud of myself this evening. Tonight, I hung Christmas lights in and around my kitchen and living room to give the apartment that festive feel this holiday season. I actually went Christmas shopping today. Actually braced the cold, bitter weather today, which was rain and snow. The weather didn't know what it wanted to do, but I went Christmas shopping today and the mall was not all that busy, which was good because I hate people. And I got a lot accomplished today. I felt proud. Felt good. Had Chipotle for lunch. You know, the chorizo. They don't have the chorizo anymore. They got the carnitas now, but I opted for the chicken. And I went for the chicken bowl. I gotta keep my diet at a moderate level. I gotta eat healthy, bro. The holiday season, you know, really doesn't do good for the gut. So we gotta keep that very moderate. So I went with the chicken bowl. You know, extra cheese, because JD's a cheese guy, but I went with the chicken bowl. Took a nap today. Tonight during Monday Night Raw, I opted not for coffee, but I went for a festive hot chocolate with some marshmallows. It's a good evening. My buddy Rusty got called out by MJF on social media during Monday Night Raw tonight. MJF called him a fat slob. And Monday Night Raw was utter garbage, as always. 'Tis the season, folks. 'Tis the season, but if we're basing the season on Monday Night Raw and how garbage it is, 'tis the season all year long. Are they even trying anymore? Are they even trying anymore with this show? I don't get it. I really don't understand why it is so difficult to creatively write a television show and just give me a little of something to hang on to. If you watch this show tonight, you know how I feel. If you guys did not watch the show, which I'm assuming there are many of you out there, you missed nothing. And I urge you not to go back and watch. Some of you actually tweeted me that you were watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which I'm not surprised by that at all. In fact, I congratulate you for watching Rudolph. He deserves your viewership. In fact, Rudolph would probably bring in more ratings than Seth Rollins. Rudolph, Frosty the Snowman, Mrs. Claus, Santa Claus, couple of the elves throw in there. You know what? It's a good time. It's a good time. This show sucks. I don't know what you want me to say about this show. In fact, there was a leak on social media today, on Reddit, I believe. Someone by the name of Loose Lips. I don't know who this is. I don't know who. It's a very funny name, to be quite fair. Loose Lips. He definitely had loose lips on Reddit today because he actually leaked that, A, Monday Night Raw was going to be bad tonight, so he gave you the heads up not to watch. And then B, he actually described segment for segment, scene for scene, what would happen with the Bobby Lashley and Lana segment. And everything that Loose Lips said on Reddit actually happened tonight. The funny thing is, we're 2 weeks away from a TLC pay-per-view. You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it. I barely knew it. I didn't even realize that TLC was 2 weeks away until they mentioned it on Monday Night Raw tonight. This is inexcusable. There's no reason why this show should be as bad as it is. And I don't want to sit here and hear it from everybody. Oh, it's the holiday season. It's the typical slow time for WWE. There is no reason why we don't get any creativity on this show. I went over this already all weekend long about Seth Rollins. Why are you prolonging the inevitable? Pull the goddamn trigger already. What are you teasing? What are you possibly teasing with Seth Rollins? It's no mystery. Everybody's ready to boo this guy. Just pull the fucking trigger on Seth Rollins' heel turn. They're just giving you this nauseating version of Seth Rollins that's bouncing in between heel, bouncing in between serious, and the normal Seth Rollins that we've been getting on TV for the last couple of months. It is god-awful. It is literally god-awful. I cannot take it anymore. And I said it on Off the Script this weekend. You either go all the way with it or you don't go at all. And I don't trust this company at all. And normally I want to be positive. I really want to be positive coming on here, but I cannot put any level of trust in these people. For all we know, the heel turn that everybody said was a heel turn last week, and I was one of the only ones who did not come out here and say it was a heel turn. Where's the heel turn? I didn't see any heel turn tonight. I didn't see any difference in Seth Rollins tonight. Oh, but it's coming. It's coming. That's WWE's problem. It's coming. When is it coming? Is it coming? It might not be coming at all. It's ridiculous. WWE needs to stop pussyfooting around with this thing and just blow the lid off this heel turn. Bring this guy out and have him shit on everybody. Seriously. Rollins, Owens, same old shit. AOP, we didn't see anything outside of AOP, outside of the opening segment like we did last week. Nothing was really continued upon. Barely. I don't understand where we're going with this, and I feel if it's not leading towards Rollins and AOP aligning in some way, then it's a complete waste of time for everybody. Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton was one of the bright spots of the show tonight. Don't know where that's going. It's not like WWE has wins and losses mattering on their show, so it really doesn't matter if they wrestle at TLC or not. The winner of that match ultimately will go nowhere. But it's entertaining to see Drew McIntyre, and what I see out of Drew McIntyre is great. Don't know why he is where he is right now, not a world champion of some sort, at least once in this current WWE run that he's on. Randy Orton, he shows you every single week that he couldn't give a single shit being out there, but should be an entertaining match when it happens. I don't know when it's going to happen, but they got those two squared off and ready to do battle, I guess, at TLC. Another six-man tag team match to close this show tonight with the Riot Squad. Oh, man. Not the Riot Squad, the OC. I'm sorry. It's very similar to the Riot Squad and what they did with Bayley, Sasha Banks, and the circus, the parade of losers that Bayley and Sasha Banks teamed up with against the Riot Squad all year long last year. I don't understand why we have to be treated to nonsensical, waste of time six-man tag team matches every single week. Is this the extent of your creativity with the OC? And how many times can you label somebody a superhero? Do you know how uncool that is when you're labeling Ricochet a superhero about 26 times per match? Did they do that in NXT? I don't think so. I don't think they labeled him as a superhero at all. You want to kill this guy's cool factor? WWE has done that times 1,000 being on Monday Night Raw. Another waste of a six-man tag, but the United States Championship is the only thing on this show that people have to fight over. So there you go with Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, and Humberto Carrillo again against the OC. Charlotte, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. I don't know how many of you guys watched that, but I'm sure there'll be a couple of parasites in the community trying to tell me and make me believe that it was a great match. You do realize that Asuka and Kairi Sane got buried tonight, right? Yeah, we're going to go over that as well right here on Off the Script. Thank you guys so very much for joining me right here on the podcast. This is Monday Night Raw on Off the Script, December 2nd, 2019. We're going to go over everything that happened on tonight's show in detail, as always, and the lack of creativity that exists in this company every Monday night. Follow me on social media, man, at JD from NY206. I didn't tweet as much as I usually do because the show was god-awful. What do you want me to say about a show that is just god-awful every single week? At JD from NY206 on Twitter and on Instagram. Make sure you guys go out and do that. I would really appreciate it. Make sure you also hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that bell for all notifications. Down below, you will find all the videos that you might have missed from SmackDown on Friday all the way through the weekend for episode 302 of Off the Script. Make sure you guys go and check that out. We blast Corey Graves on part 1, the new biggest clown in WWE, a.k.a. Corey Graves in the Mauro Ranallo situation. And then why Seth Rollins' heel turn needs to be a heel turn. Not 50%, not 75%, not at all. So make sure you guys don't make the same mistake twice that you did with Roman Reigns. Now you got it with Seth Rollins. Let's see if you follow through on that. We go over why the heel turn needs to be a heel turn. Not Seth Rollins coming out as a babyface and being booed. It's not going to work. Rollins is not that talented to get that type of heel turn over. You need to go all the way with it. That was on part 2 of episode 302. That was yesterday's video. Make sure you guys go and check that out. We will elaborate on that again tonight for all the people that might have missed that video. And everything else that you might have missed last week down below in the description. If you guys want to support on Patreon, you guys can certainly do that as well. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. And tonight the podcast is brought to you by my good friends over at Audible, audibletrial.com/offthescript. Make sure you guys use our unique link. You're going to get 30 days free. Yes, F-R-E-E, free of their service and 1 free audiobook of your choice. I've been pushing Mayor Kane, My Life in Wrestling and Politics. I've been pushing Glenn Jacobs' new autobiography. Guys, no more pre-orders. You guys can actually sign up using our link and now get the book almost immediately for free. It is 8 hours of Glenn Jacobs narrating his own book, and it is now available on Audible. You guys can certainly do that with our link, audibletrial.com/offthescript. Make sure you guys sign up. It's a great way to support the show, get something for free. And thank you guys for not only supporting Audible, but tonight, listening to my Monday Night Raw review right here on Off the Script. Monday Night Raw tonight, December 2nd, 2019, Nashville, Tennessee, the home of Lana and Rusev. So it was easy for them to make the trip to the arena tonight, restraining order and all. But tonight, on Monday Night Raw, we got Samoa Joe back on commentary. I think Samoa Joe is awesome. I would rather him be in the ring, but we got Samoa Joe on commentary tonight with Jerry the King Lawler and Vic Joseph. Now, I know what you guys are probably wondering. I don't know if anybody in the comment section has been wondering. I don't think anybody has really mentioned his name, but people in the wrestling community on social media have been asking about Dio Madden's whereabouts. Where is Dio Madden? They pulled him from 205 Live to be the new color man on Monday Night Raw. I was ready, willing, and able to give him a shot on Monday Night Raw because we wanted change so badly on Monday nights. He was a pick of Paul Heyman. He wanted to have Dio Madden sit there and really just give you a sense of change on this show. And then Dio Madden really didn't do much of anything in his first couple of weeks on Monday Night Raw in the play-by-play position. But then we got Dio Madden standing face-to-face with Brock Lesnar, and then he got an F5 through the commentary table, and we have not seen him since. Now, I was one of those people that actually raised my hand and answered the questions about Dio Madden. Well, WWE, for the first time in their life, is actually following up on logic. They're having Dio Madden sell the attack of Brock Lesnar. Now, 1 week went by, we didn't see him. 2 weeks went by, we didn't see him. 3 weeks went by, we didn't see him. By that 4th week, all right, that must have been one of the most devastating F5s that I've ever seen Brock Lesnar deliver, if that's the fucking case. Dio Madden is no longer selling the effects of Brock Lesnar's F5. Something's going on. We don't know what it is. We don't know if Vince McMahon got tired of him. That more than likely is the answer as to why Dio Madden is not on Monday Night Raw. So there you go. Vince McMahon probably removed him because he wasn't living up to the expectation. And then Paul Heyman, it just goes to show you that everything about the Paul Heyman era of Monday Night Raw has been a complete failure. So much so that the color commentary guy got ousted in just 4 weeks. So there you go. You could use that as a foundation for how Paul Heyman has been doing on Monday Night Raw, which is not good, folks, because Monday Night Raw has gotten worse every single week. First hour. If I told you that the first hour consisted of nothing but Lana, Rusev, Bob Lashley, Seth Rollins, and a match with Akira Tozawa and Drew McIntyre, would you believe me? Folks, I sit here, and I really don't even have anything to say, but the first 45 minutes of this show was given to Lana, Rusev, and Bob Lashley, with some Seth Rollins sprinkled in. I don't know. I really don't know. Just based off that visual, just think about that for a second. Just think about that for a second. Think how horrendous that sounds. How the creativity on this show is suffering. I don't believe it. I really don't get it. I don't know how anybody sat with this show for 3 hours when you didn't have to. Now, I unfortunately have to because I have to sit here, take notes, watch, and then review because it's what I do. But any normal human being, if you've seen 45 minutes of this, I think you were done after that first 45 minutes. There's no coming back from that. There really is none. There really is none. So, a black van drove up to start Monday Night Raw. AOP got out. Charlie Caruso approached them and asked why they beat Kevin Owens up last week. They answered in Punjab and Albanian. Charlie says she doesn't speak either of those languages, so please translate. Akam said, Charlie, you look lovely tonight. She made a face, and then they walked away. You know what that was, folks? That was an inside shot at Dave Meltzer telling Charlie Caruso, or explaining to fans on social media via his radio show, that Charlie Caruso is only there because of her good looks. So that was an inside shot from WWE to Dave Meltzer. Charlie, you look lovely tonight. That's all that was. So we talked about this as well on Off the Script. Charlie Caruso is very good at what she does, and it's not because of her looks. It's not the only reason why she got hired. She's very good at what she does. She's probably one of the only backstage interviewers there that has any type of charisma whatsoever. She's not a fucking android, right? She doesn't have to have her batteries replaced every week. But if anybody out there is listening to me and thinks that her looks are not a major reason as to why she got hired, you're a fool. You're a fool. And then I pose you a question. Please find me a male interviewer backstage at WWE that has a regular position on their weekly programming. You will find zero. Charlie Caruso is a very beautiful woman. That's why she's there. Plus, she's very good at what she does. You mix those two together in the blender, you got a winning combination. But don't come on here and say that Charlie Caruso has a job just simply based off her ability to be a backstage interviewer. Now, what Dave Meltzer said is, if you took Mean Gene Okerlund and put him in WWE in 2019, he would never have a job. He is absolutely correct. Look at who WWE has hired for their backstage interviews, all females. He's right. And everybody out there is blasting him, and then Charlie Caruso personally blasted him and his wife. So that's what that was. Seth made his way to the ring. The ratings were declining every footstep that he took towards the ringside area. Lawler said that he hopes Seth Rollins doesn't apologize. I hope that he doesn't apologize either, because it's not good for his current character and the direction in which it has to go. Samoa Joe said that Seth had a lot to say about the roster deficiencies. This show in itself is a deficiency, but it all happened on his watch. Lawler said what Seth said last week is what the Raw roster needed, and Seth was in the middle of the ring, and there was a very, very minimal burn it down chant. The ratings were burning itself down every minute the show went on with Rollins in the ring. So Seth said last week that he addressed the entire roster at ringside. He said he will say everything as it is, plain and frank. Well, we all sucked. That was a little bit too harsh, but I don't want you guys, or I want you guys to understand it was coming from a good place. It was coming from my heart. So pretty much he was reiterating what he said last week. He said this isn't just his job, it is also his life. He said everyone backstage are family, and they fight and struggle together. He said he wants to motivate everyone to get the absolute best out of each and every one of them. But I may have gone overboard. I think WWE has gone overboard with the lack of creativity on this show. Never mind Seth Rollins going overboard. He apologized to the fans and to the locker room. He singled out Kevin Owens and asked him to kindly come to the ring so he can apologize to Kevin Owens face-to-face, man-to-man. Nauseating garbage. Nauseating garbage. I want to apologize to every single person, everybody in the crowd, everybody in the locker room. I want to apologize. It all came from the good place in my heart. I want everybody to succeed. I want to make this the best place ever. I don't need to hear this shit. I don't need to hear this shit. You guys fucked up at Hell in a Cell. That was the moment in which everything took a downward spiral for Seth Rollins. You should have been turning him heel from there. Now here we are in December. It's December 3rd. 2019, and we still are getting this fucking nauseating version of Seth Rollins that's borderline trying to be a babyface while the crowd is shitting all over him. I don't understand it. I said this on Off the Script. You had the perfect opportunity to take Roman Reigns and turn him heel. You pushed him so hard in the fans' face that they actually started to hate him because of the forced nature that you were taking with Roman Reigns. You did not turn Roman Reigns heel. And now, we're looking at the same thing with Seth Rollins. You're doing the same thing with Seth Rollins. WWE has a tendency to pick their hand-chosen ones and not want to damage them in any way. Roman was damaged. Roman was damaged because of the overexposure you brought upon Roman Reigns. Nobody wanted him. You forced him into 4 straight WrestleMania main events. How the fuck in your right mind did you think that was going to go over positively in front of the fans? Now you got Seth Rollins here, who you fucking ruined at Hell in a Cell. Everybody wanted The Fiend to be Universal Champion. Then, there, and on that night, Rollins was the heel going into that match because you were booking him against Bray Wyatt, who you didn't know was going to be as over as he was. And now here we are in the same situation. Are you going to follow through, or are you going to make the same mistake twice with Seth Rollins? I don't get it. And the funny thing is, if they follow through with it, if they actually follow through with it on Seth Rollins, it will show you how Roman is and always will be their chosen one. Because they didn't want to bring that upon Roman. They didn't want to change Roman. So Seth Rollins, yeah, a heel turn might be good for his character, and I mean a heel turn, 100% heel turn prick, fucking sniveling pussy laugh that he does, everything, the blonde streak, you gotta transform this guy 100%. But, though we might be getting Rollins in a heel with the direction that they're going, and a possible new faction, it goes to show you that everything that they tried with Rollins, and everything that he wanted to be in WWE, he will not be. He will not be the #1 guy in the company. He will not be Monday Night Raw's version of Roman Reigns. He will be looked at as a failure because WWE had to change Seth Rollins to fix the mistake that they did, or fix the fuck up that he caused, right? It's a mixture of both parties. Both parties are to blame. But they didn't feel the need to change Roman Reigns at all. So who is the face of the company in the eyes of WWE? Is Rollins out there thinking he's the face? He's the one who needs to be resuscitated here. Roman Reigns never needed to be resuscitated in the eyes of WWE. They kept him the same, and they kept him on that path. So who's the face of WWE? Rollins probably goes to sleep every night wondering what he did wrong. He knows exactly what he did wrong. WWE knows exactly what they did wrong. And this time, they need to follow through on Rollins' heel turn 100%. I will not let this go until I see a completed version of the Rollins heel turn in the way that it needs to be. Owens made his way to the ring. And he gets in the ring and he says he smells something. And it reminds him of when the rodeo comes to Nashville. He asked Rollins if the 2 closest members of his so-called family are the AOP. the architects of pain. Got a nice ring to it, I think. Seth said he knows nothing about it. Kevin Owens says he knows he's lying because your lips are moving. I like that line. He said the smell he's referring to is bullshit. Seth promised and swore to him that wasn't true. And yes, Kevin Owens, there was no bleeping here. They actually allowed him to say the word bullshit. Why do you think that is, folks? Why do you think that is? AEW effect. Oh, man. I'm still sick, man. I'm almost there. I'm almost 100%. So you guys know why bullshit was stated on Monday Night Raw tonight. And if you don't think that's the reason, you're a fool. The Authors of Pain then walked out to the stage, and then Owens stepped back, then looked a little concerned because he thought he was going to be beat up by Rollins and the AOP again. They challenged Seth and KO to a 2-on-2 match later tonight. Now, they came out and they spoke whatever language they're speaking, Albanian, and whatever language they're speaking. I don't remember what it was. What were they speaking? They were speaking Albanian and Punjab, okay? Listen, if you're going to present these guys in the audience, in front of the audience, have them speak English. When you have them go out there and speak another language, you're going to be littered with what chance? You don't want these guys to get what chance? You're building them up in a program with Seth Rollins for a possible faction forming here. You don't want them to have this negative stigma already in the eyes of the fans because you're having them go out there and cut a promo in their own native language. Speak American. Speak English. I don't understand this. Don't have them go out there and do that. Nobody wants to hear that. I want to hear the fucking words that come out of their mouth, and I want to hear the importance of what they have to say. If I can't understand what they're saying, then I don't give a shit about what you're trying to tell me. AOP. They challenged Rollins and Owens to a tag team match. Owens smiled and says the way he sees it, one of three things can happen. All of them result in a 3-on-1 attack on him, beating the crap out of him. He asked them to beat him now, and if that's the ultimate plan, Seth said, listen, I don't know what you're on. I'm trying. I tried here. You do you. I'll do me. You're on your own, man. And he dropped the microphone. He dropped the mic and walked up the stage, and he walked right in between Akam and Razor. They did not attack him at all, which could be a clue as to a possible faction forming here, being that they did not lay a hand when they could have easily done so, being that they just challenged him to a tag team match. They didn't lay a hand on Seth Rollins at all. So Kevin Owens wants to fight now. Seth might be gone. I'd love to get a piece of the AOP. He says he called them to the ring, preferably one at a time. Then they left, and they left Kevin Owens in the ring. Lana and Bobby Lashley are walking backstage, and we get Bobby Lashley accepting Kevin Owens' challenge. Why? I don't know. Vince McMahon hates us all with the fucking heat of 1,000 suns. Vince McMahon hates us. Now, I don't know what else to say on top of what I said here. You guys know how I feel about this Rollins heel turn. This was not a heel turn. Going back to last week, everybody wants to clickbait the fucking title on their thumbnail. Rollins turned heel. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Until we get a 100% transformation of Seth Rollins turning heel, I do not constitute this as a heel turn. WWE had him shit on everybody, including the fans and the locker room last week. This week, he comes out and starts apologizing to everybody on Monday Night Raw. They absolutely went backwards from what they did last week. Does it constitute as a heel turn? Where's everybody talking about the heel turn now? I don't hear a single fucking peep from anybody out there. Who was right? I was. Thank you guys very much for coming. Class dismissed. We got Kevin Owens and Bobby Lashley. Lana came out and said the fans' beloved Rusev won't be here tonight because she's filed a restraining order against him in the state of Tennessee. And she was wearing a very, you might as well have come out naked, to be honest with you. She left absolutely nothing to the imagination. The color that she wore tonight looked very good on her, but my goodness, can you become any more of a slut on WWE television? You know, we got this homewrecker storyline going on there, and Lana committing adultery on WWE TV with this godforsaken storyline. She's absolutely dressing the part now. So I guess there is a sense of realism in what WWE is trying to tell. Maybe next time take off your wedding band or your wedding ring, and maybe I'll believe the storyline a little bit more. Can't really believe in the storyline when Lana is showing that she's still engaged, very much so, or married, I should say, married to Rusev by wearing their wedding band. Give me a fucking break. So, she said Rusev is a danger to all of them. Monday Night Raw is a danger to us all on Monday nights, every single week. He is a danger to all of them and society. Lana on the microphone is a danger to society. She said he'll go to jail for a very long time if he shows up today. I think that would be a very good decision by Rusev, because that means he would be away from this fucking storyline. Kevin Owens says he's never known anyone to talk so much but say nothing. He said she might be beautiful on the outside, but on the inside she is repulsive. She said KO is a very basic, everyday man, candy eater, pizza eater. She said her hot boyfriend is the only man she's ever been with in her entire life, and tonight he will finish KO. Now, I was very confused by this line. Her hot boyfriend is the only man that she's ever been with. Again, honey, you're wearing a wedding band showing us all that you're married to Rusev, so clearly Bobby Lashley's not the only man that you've been with. Now, what are you trying to tell us here? Because at first glance, at first hearing that line, it really didn't make much sense to me. Clearly, you've been with Rusev. Now you've been with Bobby Lashley. That is two men you've been with. So Bobby Lashley's not the only man that you've been with. Or you mean that he is a man in the bedroom, and that BBC was a little bit too much to handle. And maybe the BBC puts Rusev's whatever to shame. Is that what you mean? I wish they would have elaborated on that. But they didn't. And this storyline continues to dig itself into the fucking grave. Kevin Owens and Bobby Lashley. KO wins by DQ because Rusev shows up. Rusev shows up. We got a pop-up powerbomb. Both men were down. AOP then marched to the ring and attacked KO, caused the disqualification. So Caruso then got in the ring. And Bobby Lashley was... and by the way, let me go back here. A lot of people were asking me, JD, why did the AOP wait 8 minutes to come out and attack Kevin Owens when they wanted to attack him just moments ago in the opening segment? I don't know. I don't have an answer for you guys. That is a logic gap right there, and a big one. Why did the AOP want to fight Kevin Owens, disappear to the back, Lashley comes out, and then after 8 minutes they decide to come on out? I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. The only logical thing I can come up with, and I don't think WWE is this bright to even come up with this, is that the AOP wanted to see Kevin Owens suffer at the hands of Bobby Lashley, and they wanted to pick their spots strategically to go out there and plan an attack on Kevin Owens. I don't know. That's a little bit too much brain power for WWE. Anyway, Charlie Caruso was in the ring and asked Lashley if he knew anything about AOP's attack on KO. Lashley said he doesn't know anything about AOP. All he knows is that he was about to beat KO, and all he cares about is Lana's welfare. Lana says she's tired of everyone booing her. Rusev then came to the ring, big spotlight in the crowd, following him through the crowd. So, he's got a restraining order, still part of the roster, but clearly this was a planned attack. And Rusev entered the ring, delivered a Machka kick to Bobby Lashley. Lana yelled for help. On the outside during this entire match, he had two detectives in plain clothes standing by ringside. They were in the ring during this entire segment. Fans were chanting Rusev Day. Lashley yelled at the police officers. One of the officers then got on the microphone and said he's a WWE fan, and in the state of Tennessee, they do things differently. Lashley bumped shoulders with the cop, and he walked past him, and before you know it, this cop was handcuffing Lashley and reading him his rights. Lana started yelling at the officer, "Why are you arresting Bobby Lashley? You should arrest Rusev for breaking the restraining order." She slapped this officer who put the handcuffs on Bobby Lashley. Then she realized what she did. She started to apologize, and then they handcuffed Lana. And they were both arrested right then and there. So we got Lana and Bobby Lashley being ushered into a police vehicle, and the police vehicle drove away. Now, only if they were arrested in real life for real, and they would never show up on Monday Night Raw ever again. We would all rejoice that this storyline is dead and buried. I don't understand how anybody's enjoying this. 45 fucking minutes of this show were taken up by this garbage. I don't get it. Now, I want you guys to ask yourself, does Monday Night Raw need to be 3 hours? The answer is no. Because the only reason why this got as much time as it did is because this show is 3 hours. If this show was booked at 2 hours, this wouldn't have got even a fourth of the fucking time on this show. Unreal. Drew McIntyre versus Akira Tozawa. He seems to be everywhere as of late. This is his ceiling, Akira Tozawa. The sheer size of Drew McIntyre over Akira Tozawa was a sight to behold. Drew wins in 4 minutes, and he nailed Tozawa with a huge Claymore kick, man. The Claymore kick, and Drew McIntyre in general, man, he looks fucking beastly on Monday Night Raw. I look at him, and I ask myself every single time I see him, how is this guy not a champion in this company? How is this guy not won a world championship in this company? I don't get it. Drew McIntyre is absolutely phenomenal. The Claymore kick was just one of several spots in this match. He took Akira Tozawa and fucking threw him over his head pretty much 90% across the ring. It's amazing what this guy could do. He wins in 4 minutes. Claymore kick. Knocked Akira Tozawa's head off, and that was pretty much it. Drew got on the microphone and said afterwards that was fun. He asked Nashville if that was fun. Said some people like to issue a challenge in cryptic ways on social media because they're a bunch of bloody cowards. Everybody goes on social media and starts ranting, bitching, and complaining about what's going on here. He said he's going to be direct about it. Randy Orton, I've got a problem with you, so bring yourself to this ring right now so we can bloody talk about it, he says. So Drew was in the ring. They go to commercial. Out from commercial. And then we get Randy Orton coming out to the ring. He called for footage to air because Drew McIntyre apparently had a problem with what happened last week, which I thought was one of the better parts of Monday Night Raw. Drew McIntyre taking knife-edge chop lessons from Walter in NXT UK, literally chopping Randy Orton's chest into pieces. Randy Orton took 2 huge knife-edge chops, and then Drew McIntyre asked, Randy, show me what you got, show me what you got. This is my ring, this is my opportunity. Thumb to the eye. Randy Orton showed exactly what kind of man he is. So, he said, I watched that clip, and all I have for you is 3 words, stupid, 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 just like this show. He called Orton to the ring again. Orton came out. Drew asked Orton how his chest was and asked if the noise from the chops have drowned out the voices in his head. So Orton laughed at his question and turned to leave. He says, this is why you brought me out here. You have to be kidding me. And then walked out of the ring, or wanted to walk out of the ring and leave. Drew told him, you look at me when I'm talking to you. And don't disrespect me ever again. Drew said his problem with him is that he walks around here like he owns the place and always has. He insisted Orton look at him, and Orton stared at him finally. Drew says he doesn't have the right to speak to him like he's a damn child. He said that he was the most ferocious man in the WWE in the past, but in 2019, the only thing he's ferocious at is posting on social media. He said this about Randy Orton. Orton was obviously getting a little agitated here. Drew said even the people of Nashville can understand what he's about to tell him. Past, future, RKO. Out of nowhere, out. Claymore, out of nowhere, in. So pretty much, he is the new Randy Orton. Orton says that's not an Orton-McIntyre problem. That's a McIntyre reality problem. He said he does what he wants because he's earned the right to do so. And that is a shoot right there, folks. That is no bullshit in what Randy Orton is saying. He has earned it, and that is a legit shoot. He said Drew, on the other hand, has not earned a goddamn thing. He said that they're good and cool, but if Drew thinks they still have a problem, let's solve it right now. And then out came the OC, the worst tag team in the world. Not really, but I have to make fun of them because WWE has done anything but book them as the best tag team in the world. Luke Gallows and we had Carl Anderson and AJ Styles come out. Luke Gallows said Orton is an unapologetic jerk who ruins people's lives. Orton nodded proudly. He was very happy about what he did to AJ Styles last week and him losing the United States title to Rey Mysterio. Carl Anderson said he ruined Uncle Alan's life. Said AJ Styles lost the United States title because of him. Anderson asked Styles if he's okay. Styles, in a very comic way, and I laughed, said, no, Carl, I'm not okay. And he said he'd feel better if he got his hands on Randy Orton. He said he doesn't care what kind of match it is. He just wants to get his hands on Randy Orton. Drew said this doesn't seem to be a Drew problem. This seems to be more of a Randy Orton OC problem. So I bid you adieu. I wish I could bid myself adieu at this hour, but I can't. Drew waved by and Orton was in the ring. And the OC approached the ring. And then they entered and they were beating down Randy Orton. 3-on-1. So Randy Orton was getting a 3-on-1. Out comes Ricochet. He made the save. And his music hit. Then out comes Humberto Carrillo, who they finally gave new theme music to. It's not as good. Well, I wouldn't say it's not as good. It's not really all that much better than the original one, but I guess it's an upgrade for him. Still came out to crickets, though. Out came Humberto Carrillo with his new theme music. And then Rey Mysterio ran out. His theme music hit on the PA, which I'll talk about in a second. So they went at the OC, and then more than likely at this point, we were getting a 6-man tag. When that was happening at this point, I don't know. I thought it was happening right after the commercial, and they did not do it after the commercial. We got it in the main event instead. Now, I don't get it. I mean, I understand why they do it, because they want each individual guy to get some sort of reaction or pop from the crowd. But doesn't it look ridiculous when they come out one after the other? I mean, they're all going to the ring for the same fucking reason. Ricochet went out there to help Randy Orton. Humberto Carrillo went out there to help Randy Orton. Rey Mysterio came out there to help Randy Orton. Why don't they just all come out together with Rey Mysterio's music? Being that he's the United States champion. Doesn't it look ridiculous that they all came out individually when they're all going to the ring for the same fucking thing anyway? I mean, you can consolidate this shit and not make it seem just over the top, overproduced, fucking nauseating. Those are the little things I pick up on. I don't get it. I really don't get it. That's not the way I would have did it. It looked ridiculous. So we got a 6-man tag brooding at the end of the show. Oh my God, I can't wait to see the fucking Riot Squad against the male version of Sasha Banks, Bayley, and fucking Natalya. At least at that point, we didn't get Sasha Banks being called a fucking superhero 16 fucking times on commentary. Tony Nese. Yeah, Tony Nese. You know Tony Nese? I'm pretty sure you don't know who the fuck Tony Nese is, right? The superior athlete, I think they call him, right? He went against Aleister Black, who took the night off from being in the closet. This one went to Black in 4 minutes, of course. Why would Black lose this? Black mass for the win. Tony Nese is very impressive. I wish Tony Nese would get more TV time. I think he is very good at what he does. He was on NXT a couple of times this year. A couple of great matches with Johnny Gargano. He had some cruiserweight matches on NXT. Really good athlete is Tony Nese. Really quality talent they got there. Aleister Black wins, 4 minutes, Black mass. That was pretty much it. Charlie Caruso asked Buddy Murphy in the back, who was watching in the back, if he regrets knocking on Aleister Black's door. He said Black takes himself way too seriously and he's a hothead, whereas he's calm, cool, and collected. He told Black to calm down. He said if he doesn't want to calm down, he'll be the one to calm him down. Not really all that intimidating there, Mr. Buddy Murphy. I think you got to do better next time when addressing Aleister Black. It will not be calm, and I don't want to see anybody calm. I want to see you guys fight for your spot in the mid-card. That's what I want to see. Andrade with Zelena Vega versus Eric Young. Eric Young is still employed by this company. I know. I'm shocked as well. Andrade wins in 5 minutes. Andrade lasted longer here with Eric Young than he did with Sin Cara the last couple of times he fought Sin Cara. I ask why. Eric Young has not been on Monday Night Raw at all outside of a 24/7 title segment. And Eric Young here lasted 5 minutes with Andrade. Andrade wins with the Hammerlock DDT. That's all you need to know here. Eric Young, I really don't get it, man. They had such a good thing in NXT. It's amazing to just visualize Eric Young with Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf in NXT with Sanity. It was a vision that Triple H had always had in the back of his mind and he wanted to bring to life in NXT. He finally found the guys to do that with, and Eric Young, Killian Dane, and Alexander Wolf. You know, Fulton Sawyer was there as well, if you guys remember that name. He's now with Impact Wrestling, part of the Sami Callihan group, OVE. And it's amazing to think about Eric Young and how far he has fallen in this company, man. It is so sad watching Eric Young on Monday Night Raw, knowing where he was. It's just terrible. It really is just terrible. He got some TV time tonight, but I don't think anybody is clamoring to watch Eric Young on Monday Night Raw. Enhancement talent matches on Raw. He looked decent against Andrade, but this match should have not went 5 minutes. It should have went about a minute or two, and that was pretty much it. Andrade deserves better. But he got the win over Eric Young. What they do with him, I don't know. All I could say is, like I did last week, Rey Mysterio and Andrade is what should come next. R-Truth ran to the ring as Andrade won, and I threw up in my mouth a little bit. He ran out with the 24/7 title in front of the race car drivers that were out there. I don't know who was out there. I don't know who the fuck watches NASCAR. I mean, if you're one of those people, God bless you. I really don't get it. I really don't get it. So he hid underneath their chairs. They were sitting front row. He hid himself right underneath their chairs. Cedric Alexander. I teared a little bit. My eyes teared up watching Cedric Alexander chase the fucking 24/7 title. Titus O'Neil. He had a pie in the oven, so he figured, you know what, let me come and run out. By the time I run back, it'll be done. Zack Ryder, Curt, Hawkins, who were supposed to get a tag team title match on Monday Night Raw. Was it last week or the week before that? They got ousted. They're out there. Mojo Rawley, who signed a 5-year contract with the WWE to run around like a fucking clown. They all ran out. And whoever these race car drivers were said, you know what? You're welcome. You're welcome, Truth. We saved your ass there. So Truth thanked them. He hugged these guys. Bush and Waltrip were their name. Waltrip, the guy with the big gray beard, he unzipped his jacket and revealed a referee shirt. And then Bush rolled up Truth, and he won the 24/7 title. I would give all my fucking earnings of this video to anybody in the comments section if you actually give a fuck. So I win. There's not one person that gives a fuck about this in the comment section. Where do we go from here? Charlie caught up with Seth Rollins. Oh, joy. He was leaving the arena. That made me very happy to see. A Monday Night Raw without Rollins is a good Monday Night Raw, but this one was not a good Monday Night Raw. She said earlier, he said everybody was part of his family. So why didn't you help Kevin Owens when the Authors of Pain attacked him after the Bobby Lashley match? Seth asked, what are you even talking about? He said he tried. Seth said KO didn't want his help. He got worked up and started getting angry. And at just one little point in this promo, I seen that old prick, Seth Rollins, emerge just a little bit. He peeked a fucking pinky out in this promo. He asks, what do you want from me? Seth says, it's like a no-win situation. No matter what I do or say, I am the bad guy, and it's always my fault. What's the point? And then he said, everyone wants to be a critic, but not everyone has the guts to be a leader. And the way he delivered that line, I'm like, ooh. I know you're hiding in there, Seth. You got to come on out 100%. Come on. Come on. I want to see 100% heel Seth Rollins. And then he left the arena, and we didn't see Seth Rollins for the rest of the night. Erick Rowan had his mystery pet and his cage, and I don't know what's in the cage. Apparently, it's a fucking Logitech C922 camera, webcam, gotta be. It's the same camera I'm using, and it's like I am looking at you guys through a little fucking bird cage. What's in the fucking cage? What's in the cage? Seriously. My buddy Jesse said, are the tag team titles from SmackDown in that cage? Maybe he wouldn't have lost Luke Harper as a tag team partner. Maybe it's Luke Harper's fucking contract. Maybe he don't want Luke Harper to leave the WWE, being that he just trademarked Brody Lee because he's planning his exit from the WWE. What's in the fucking cage? I don't even give a shit at this point. No Way Jose versus Erick Rowan. We had some of the conga line out there. They wanted to take a peek in the cage. Rowan blasted the two fucking goons who wanted to take a peek in the cage. And then No Way Jose got not one, but 2 claw slams, and that was it. That was pretty much it. So, we got Sarah Schreiber after this, actually interviewing Rowan backstage. She asked Rowan what was in the cage, what was in the cage, what was in the cage, what was in the cage. And Rowan just stared at her, and he didn't answer any of her questions and then walked away. Hour 3 started with Charlotte. Charlotte, I am going to drink this bottle of water and I'm going to hydrate myself before talking about this next segment. There you go. Charlotte Flair came out. Asuka, I spilled a little. It's only water, folks. It's only water. It's only water. Charlotte versus Asuka and Kairi Sane. This one went 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Was it a good match? What do you want me to say about it? You know what I'm going to say about it, right? You know what I'm going to say about it. Got two things to say about this, folks. Number one, we got a handicap match with 3 women on the Raw roster and not one sign of anybody else in the women's division on any part of this show. So we are at a point right now with the women's division that we need to do handicap matches with Charlotte, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. It's as if WWE only has 4 women on the Raw roster for a 3-hour show, and they're rinsing and repeating, mixing and matching different variations of these 4 women moving forward. We already got Charlotte and Becky Lynch versus Asuka and Kairi Sane twice. Now we're at a point where we got Charlotte just by herself against the Kabuki Warriors. We got Becky versus Kairi Sane. We got Asuka versus Charlotte. How many more variations of this fucking nonsense are we going to get on this show? This is absolutely abysmal. It is inexcusable how you have so much female talent in this company and you opt to push only 4 women on this show. The women's division has never looked as bad, and I say this often, this is some of the worst women's direction, some of the worst women's creative I have seen since the women's evolution got up off the ground. This is awful. This is awful that we are now resorting to handicap matches with Charlotte against the Kabuki Warriors. Now, for all the fucking cretins on social media who said this was a great match, it went right over their head. All they see are one thing and one thing only. Oh, it was a great match. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there and I'm posing the question to you guys, how the fuck does this get Asuka and Kairi Sane over in any way? It doesn't. I look at this, you know what I see? Not a great match. I don't see a good effort by Charlotte. I don't see a hard-fought match by Charlotte Flair. I don't see a hard-fought match by Asuka and Kairi Sane, who, by the way, got new fucking theme music after weeks and weeks and weeks of bitching and complaining and moaning. I expected a lot worse, and I was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't as bad as what we got. So there you go. It's pretty decent. Now they got fucking a tandem theme music that they could come out to. Now we don't have to see a mashup of Kairi Sane's pirate theme and Asuka's regular theme music. It's good. It's good. Did that put WWE behind in any way? Was that so difficult? Was that difficult to do? Of course not. I still want to know who's conducting these theme musics as well. I don't know who WWE has composing their theme music now, because apparently they're not working with CFOs anymore. But anyway, everybody looked at this match and seen a good effort by all involved. I looked at the Kabuki Warriors getting buried in this contest, this handicap match on Monday Night Raw. JD, why do you think the Kabuki Warriors were buried? They beat Charlotte 2-on-1. You do realize that it took Asuka and Kairi Sane 15 minutes to beat one Charlotte Flair. Meanwhile, they beat Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch in about half that time a couple of weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. So how are you looking at this and then looking at me explaining my negative reaction to this? How are you looking at this and thinking that it was still a great match? What did it do? It accomplished nothing. The Kabuki Warriors struggled against one woman. Am I to believe that Charlotte Flair is as tough as nails and she's going to valiantly come back and win against Asuka and Kairi Sane? How do the Kabuki Warriors look good in this sense? The only thing that I seen was the Kabuki Warriors winning the match, but I'm thinking they really lost. Because look at how tough they had of a time against Charlotte Flair. That was awful. That was awful. The women's division is awful. The creative behind this match and the reasoning behind this match was fucking awful. The Kabuki Warriors don't look good at all. They look awful. What was accomplished here? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I expected Becky Lynch to come out. Becky Lynch didn't even show her face on Monday Night Raw, but I guarantee you, in the 2 weeks that we got left for the pay-per-view, that we're going to get Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair against the Kabuki Warriors in a tables, ladders, and chairs match at the pay-per-view. Because WWE has nobody else in the women's division. That needs to change immediately. One thing I will say about this match, I didn't give a shit about it just based on the outcome and how the Kabuki Warriors looked. I want to pinpoint Kairi Sane. Her offense, as of late, is very weak. Now, I remember Kairi Sane being very intense in NXT, and that intensity and her offense is just lacking right now. There's no oomph. There's no intensity behind Kairi Sane's offense. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if that's the role that they have her playing now. She's a little bit too playful. She's a little bit too weaselly. And I know that she is a heel now with Asuka, but don't let that deter her offense. I mean, she could be weaselly. She could be annoying in that heel way. But, man, her offense needs to pick up the fucking slack a little bit. That's not the Kairi Sane that I remember in NXT. She was physical. She was intense. She was stiff. And I don't know what's happening on the main roster, but that has taken a nosedive on Monday Night Raw. Asuka and Kairi Sane win here. The ending scene, Charlotte put the figure 8 on Asuka, and then Asuka made the blind tag before the figure 8 was applied, and then Kairi Sane went up for the insane elbow and landed right on Charlotte Flair's flotation devices, and then the 1, 2, 3, and that was it. Asuka and Kairi Sane last 15 minutes. You'll have some fucking idiot in the comment section saying I'm complaining, but realistically, how bad do they look that it took 15 minutes to beat one fucking woman in the women's division? Doesn't make them look good at all. The Viking Raiders versus Mark Sterling and Mitchell Lyons. I mean, why are we getting enhancement matches for the Viking Raiders? I mean, just like the women's division, you got 4 fucking women showcased every goddamn week. The women's division right now on this show is fucking garbage. Same thing can be said for the tag team division. I mean, we just had the Viking Raiders beat the Undisputed Era and the New Day at Survivor Series, and now we're back to putting them against fucking enhancement talent? I mean, who'd you pick? Who are these guys? Did you pick them out of the fucking mall line waiting for Santa Claus? You have to be kidding me. Why are we still on this? Why are they even the tag team champions at this point anyway, if this is all you got for them? Does nobody in the fucking company see this to be a goddamn issue? Somebody has to see this being an issue. Somebody. The lack of tag team matches on this show, in this division, the lack of direction for these champions, it's ridiculous. I don't know why I'm sitting here once again complaining about the Viking Raiders getting Mark Sterling and Mitchell Lyons, another enhancement tag team, for these guys to just eat up and spit out. I don't understand it. Either merge the fucking tag team divisions on Raw and SmackDown, because the same fucking thing is happening on SmackDown Friday. You got no tag teams. All you got is the New Day and Heavy Machinery. You got fucking Otis gyrating, shirtless, on SmackDown. Get these tag teams some fucking competition. Christ! I mean, what is it going to take? Unreal. Viking Raiders win. Thor's hammer for the win. Backstage, Ricochet, Rey Mysterio, and Humberto Carrillo says that he wants to prove superheroes can be real. Here we go. It's not a fucking comic book, Ricochet. I mean, I don't understand how WWE could take Ricochet from NXT and he's just gleaming with fucking coolness, right? Ricochet was cool. Remember his feud with the Velveteen Dream? Remember it? I do. Now look at him here on Monday Night Raw. Does that resemble the Ricochet that we seen in NXT? Man, Ricochet, I love him. I have so much aspiration for Ricochet. I have so much desire to see Ricochet succeed. He's a gem. An absolute gem. WWE does not deserve half of the fucking roster that they've been blessed with on Monday Night Raw. Everybody from Andrade to Aleister Black to the fucking Viking Raiders to Asuka, Kairi Sane, Ricochet, Buddy Murphy. They don't deserve half of these fucking men and women. They don't. They don't. They got Ricochet coming out here telling everybody superheroes can be real. I don't believe how uncool Ricochet has become. Said that he will have to be shoved to the sidelines with their match because it's all about being a team who shuts the OC up. Carrillo then talked, and he better put the fucking mask back on if they're going to have him talk, because he sounds ridiculous. Carrillo talked about what an honor it is to team with Rey Mysterio. Rey said the real honor is teaming with these guys who are the future of the sport. Rey then said he'll shut them down. Get ready for the future and the legend, he said. Great, I can't wait. We got the Riot Squad, a.k.a. the OC, versus the male version of Sasha Banks and Bayley here in the main event. Mysterio, Humberto, Carrillo, and Ricochet versus the OC. AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. And this match went 16 minutes. I did not give a single shit about what had happened here. Who gives a shit? Seriously. How many times, just like the tag team fucking division in WWE, just like the women's division in WWE, is this the extent of your creativity? What is the OC to this show? Are they nothing more than six-man tag team matches? Why must we be punished with another nonsensical, unimportant, irrelevant tag team match, six-man tag on this show? We haven't gotten enough of them already? 2019 will be the year of six-man tag team matches for the OC. It's the OC versus everybody, a mixture of different fucking people every single week. If it's not the Street Profits and Humberto, it's Ricochet and Humberto. Now it's Rey Mysterio and Humberto. Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio and Humberto. Randy Orton, Ricochet and Humberto. I don't get it. I really don't get it. This is fucking inexcusable. Inexcusable. It meant nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, Randy Orton came out at the end of this thing, right? Randy Orton came out at the end, and he gave Styles an RKO after the OC won, okay? So, Humberto Carrillo, another loser, loses how many matches on Monday? Has he won anything on this show? Maybe once, right? Ricochet loses again. Rey Mysterio just won the United States Championship. He's on the team that lost. Yeah, some fucking way to build credibility to the goddamn fucking title here on Monday Night Raw. You have the guy win it last week and then come out and be on the losing fucking team in the main event. Humberto is a loser. Ricochet continues to lose. Has no momentum whatsoever. He's as cold as Aleister Black on this fucking show. Randy Orton comes out. He gives Styles an RKO. And that's it. That's the way the show goes off the air. What are Randy Orton and AJ Styles going to fight over? The fact that AJ Styles lost the United States Championship because of Randy Orton? What is that going to mean at the end of the day? Is that going to have any implication on who gets Rey Mysterio next? As far as I'm concerned, Andrade keeps winning. Erick Rowan keeps winning. He should be in line for a United States title match if that's the fucking case. Our wins and losses going to matter here. Look at the mid-card that you have in WWE on this show. You know, when you really look at it, Monday Night Raw has a really solid roster. I don't know why this show is as bad as it is. I really don't. It's like they're not even fucking trying. And I all know we go into a dead period, a slow period in December, going on into January after New Year's. Then WWE kind of amps up the build. Not too much because the Royal Rumble kind of sells itself, right? WWE starts building the Royal Rumble up. But I mean, fucking Christ, if this is the extent of your creativity, I don't even know why this show is on the fucking USA Network at this point. Why bother even airing a fucking show? This show sucks. This show, I don't know what to say. I mean, if you enjoy this show, God bless your fucking soul. I really don't get it. But I don't know how there are people out there that think I am negative about this show because I want to be negative. I'm negative, and I'm talking about this show in the same context they give it to me. They give us trash every single week. What would you like me to say? I dig through this show, I dissect this show better than anyone in the fucking community. And there's barely anything redeeming about this show. Nothing about this show. What positivity, what positive do you want me to fucking come out of this show with? What? You're gonna go watch these other fucking idiots in the community do what they do. They'll be all fucking sunshine and rainbows on a fucking cool, crisp December day, right? Give me a fucking break. This show is utter garbage. I don't even know how anybody is fucking happy to be associated with this fucking show. I honestly don't know. I honestly think you are not of this fucking world if you come out there and do what I do and praise this show in any way. I don't see how anybody could sit there and not shit on the fucking show. Do you realize what we're being given? Unreal. This show sucks. I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys so very much for all that you do for me. I'll be back on Tuesday with Off the Script Elites. We got a lot of news and rumors in AEW going on right now, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. And then I'll see you guys throughout the rest of the week with Dynamite, NXT, Off the Script, SmackDown. You guys know the deal, and I'll be giving you the content that you need right here in the wrestling community. Thank you guys so very much. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below and hit that bell as well. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Make sure you guys check out the podcast from this weekend, episode 302 of Off the Script. That is linked down below. And if you guys want to go and get that Mayor Kane book on Audible, you guys can certainly do that now. It is available. You guys can get it for free. audibletrial.com/offthescript. And I am getting out of here, guys. Thank you all so very much. Hit that thumbs up, and I will be back tomorrow afternoon with more Off the Script as we talk AEW on OTS Elite. See you guys then.